الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله والصلاة والسلام على النبي وعلى آله وأصحابه أما بعد. In the glorious Quran, Allah the Exalted says, يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تحلوا شعائر الله ولا الشهر الحرام. O you who believe, violate not the sanctity of the symbols of Allah, nor of the sacred months. The prohibition in the verse is not to violate the sanctity which Allah has commanded to respect. And this barring includes both vile deeds and vile beliefs. In the quoted verse from the previous presentations, Allah has emphatically declared, فَلَا تَظْلِمُوا فِيهِنَّ أَنفُسَكُمْ. So wrong not yourselves. According to the Mufassirin, the proposition combined with the pronoun in the verse fihinna, which is translated as therein, refers to the 4 sacred months. Therefore, paying attention to the sanctity of these 4 months, which Allah has singled out as sacred, obviously does not mean venerating them by innovating special modes of worship into the religion. This in itself is disobedience. Rather, paying attention to their sanctity means being more dedicated towards Allah through righteous deeds which have already been established by the clear, authentic Sunnah in terms of mode and limit. Having said that, there is no denial to the fact that while a great deal of Muslims are not paying keen attention to the spiritual significance of this great month of Rajab, too many Muslims go overboard in carrying out acts of worship that are contrary to the Sunnah. And as already proven in the previous tape, many false hadiths have been fabricated to give credence to all these baseless practices, in which some Muslims are singling out some of the days and nights to observe specific rituals during the month. These foreign practices include special prayers, dua, repentance, sacrifices, fasting, zikr, and so on. Let me mention one more concocted report which is directed towards validating a common observance in Rajab that is called Salatul Raga'ib. It says, ما من أحد يصوم أول يوم من رجب ثم يصلي بين العشاء والفجر فإذا فرغ من صلاته صلى على 70 مرة يقول Whoever fasts on the first day of the month of Rajab, then prays at the time between Isha and Fajr for 12 cycles, with 1 salam every 2 rak'ah, reads Surah Al-Fatiha once per rak'ah, and Surah Al-Qadr 3 times, and Surah Al-Ikhlas 12 times. Then after he finished praying, he sends blessings upon me 70 times by saying, Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin nabiyyil ummi wa ala ali Muhammad. Then he prostrates and reads 70 times, Rabbik fir warham wa tajawaz amma ta'lam innaka antal azzul akram. Then he prostrates again, reading the same as the first prostration, and asks his request, which would be granted. The falsity of this report is quite clear to any reasonable Muslim, as it is not logical that any month can exceed the month of Ramadan in virtues. In fact, it is reported that when Abu Bakr radiallahu anh entered upon his family and saw them preparing foods in new baskets and utensils, he asked, ما هذا؟ فقالوا رجب نصومه. فقال أجعلتم رجبا رمضان? He asked, what is this? They said, it's the month of Rajab and we are fasting. He asked them, did you make Rajab like Ramadan? Then he threw down the baskets and broke the utensils. Similarly, when more people started to treat Rajab like Ramadan, the companion Hashara ibn al-Hur reported, رأيت عمر رضي الله عنه يضرب أكف الناس في رجب حتى يدعوها في الجفان ويقول كلوا فإنما هو شهر كان يعظمه أهل الجاهلية. I saw Umar used to hit people's hand until they would start using them to eat during the month of Rajab. And he would say, what is the virtue of Rajab? It is a month which the people during the pre-Islamic period used to honor. Our legal scholars, past and present, have vehemently rejected and denounced every single innovation through their actions, speeches, and writings. Regarding this so-called Salatul Raga'ib, Imam An-Nawawi rahimahullah said, فَإِنَّهَا بِدْعَةٌ ضَلَالَةٌ مُنْكَرَةٌ وَقَبِيحَةٌ قاتل الله وادعها ومخترعها فإنها من البدع التي هي ضلالة وجهالة وفيها منكرات ظاهرة. May Allah wage war against the person who innovated this prayer, for it is a despicable innovation and the evidence for this is numerous. Indeed, some scholars author beneficial books explaining the repulsiveness of this prayer and the misguided nature of the one who observes it and innovated it. The scholars agreed in their statement, أما تخصيص أيام من رجب بالصوم فلا نعلم له أصلا في الشرع وكل حديث فيه ذكر صوم رجب والصلاة بعد الليالي فيه فهو كذب مفترى. As for singling out some days in the month of Rajab for fasting, there is no origin of that in the Sharia. And every hadith that mentions the fasting of Rajab and the prayers of some nights in it, this is a fabricated lie. Therefore, O Muslims, the mere acting on these exaggerations and lies causes misguidance. And misguidance leads to the fire. Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, وَشَرَّ الْأُمُورِ مُحْدَثَاتُهَا وَكُلَّ مُحْدَثَةٍ بِدْعَةٍ وَكُلَّ بِدْعَةٍ ضَلَالَةٍ وَكُلَّ ضَلَالَةٍ فِي النَّارِ. The most evil matters are those that are newly invented. For every newly invented matter is an innovation. Every innovation is misguidance. And every misguidance is in the hellfire.